Hello, and welcome to tonight's stream. Tonight, I am not joined by anyone, but we do have two very exciting Div A matchups. So, we've got right off the bat, Pound Town versus Bad Seeds, and then to follow that up, we've got Telecommuters versus Misdemeanors. All right, so normally here I would introduce the other caster, but we unfortunately couldn't find anyone for the 8 o'clock. We do have someone joining us for the second matchup tonight, but for now I am solo casting this matchup. We'll hope that it's not too scuffed. It might be a little bit of a hassle, I guess. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but we'll try our best. Bear with me if there's some errors and I go quiet for a little bit. As long as I'm just going to try to keep the game going and make sure we can watch it. All that good stuff. We're going to try to get it rolling. Let's take a look at these teams, though. So, first we got the Div A standings here. We've got, of course, Pound Town versus Bad Seeds right now. Pound Town definitely favored in their record here with 75% win here, leading the division in both goals and shooting. They're definitely a huge team on this field. But on the other end, Bad Seeds, 1-1. They aren't doing bad for themselves either. They're having a pretty solid start to their season. They are leading in assists, which you love to see. That means they have got that team chem going, and they are clicking really well. They also are leading in demo to game, which isn't the one you want to lead in, but still something to note on. Let's take a look over at the Pound Town side of things. We've got Remzik, Shavin, and Leffy. So Remzik, of course, a lot of people, everyone knows him. There's a lot of Remzik glaze over there here. He's leading in both goals and shooting percentage. 1.63 goals with a 43% shooting percentage. Now, if we look, we also got Shavin. These were the two that won the previous match. Like the previous Div A, they're the champions. And of course, this time they're being filled with Leffy as their third, who is in insane third, definitely doing his part on the squad with 0.75 goals a game, 0.63 assists. He's definitely doing his part here too. Let's take a look over at the orange side of things, or Bad Seed side of things. They're 1-1 goal count, and they're honestly doing kind of even stats throughout it. Marty, Grant, and Aquamaniac is their squad here. Marty with nearly a goal game, Aquamaniac being that one that is above in a goal game. On average, the team putting somewhere around 2 point something, up or something in goals a game. And overall, an awesome squad. Definitely going to put up a fight here as we get ready to roll into this. Honestly, for my prediction, because I would normally turn it to the co-caster here, but for my prediction, I think Pound Town are taking this one I'm thinking 4. I think Marty's team takes a game off, but overall, I think they take this in 4 games. Let me check and make sure the players are ready to go. Looks like they are good to go, so we're just going to hop into this a couple of minutes early, but might as well just get her rolling. Hopefully, there's nothing scuffed with the setup and everything. Hopefully, it rolls properly, of course. Always want that. Send it over to our overlay. Maybe we can get people joined in here. There might be a problem with team. Oh, that's great. So apparently Pound Town is not okay as a name in Rocket League either, so it is just going to be asterisk out for now, which is great. I don't know if they want us to change it up or hold for a second. I might be quiet for a second. Send it back over to the master screen. Hold just a moment. Of course it has to be Pound Town, right? We'll get this going real quick. Bear with me for a second. Because apparently Rocket League doesn't like the name either. We'll get it fixed up real quick. There we go. Hopefully. I already gave my prediction. I'm saying Pound Town takes this in 4. I think it just goes 4 here. They lock it out. I'm not going to predict a sweep here, though. Not going to predict a sweep. 3-1 win here. See if we can get them in the game. Pause. All right, there we go. We got them in here. Sweet, everything's going great. No problems whatsoever here. Oh, you know what? That is beautiful. We love to see it. Love to see it working really well. And right off the rip, some offensive from Bad Seeds. Love to see it. Remzik trying to clear it over to the side. Remzik trying to go for a bump maybe. Aquamaniac trying to get it over. Marty with the shot. Can't quite connect. Shavin gonna go pick this up, but Remzik's gonna sweep it, send it a long way. Grant gonna try to pick it up himself, but Remzik there again trying to keep pushing it forward onto the field. Marty with the carry. Shavin's there to shut it down, send it up the wall, and then he's probably going to go for a bump here as Leffy tries to get it past. It's up to Remzik as last man in the rotation in. Marty's just going to send it up, try to get something going right off the bat. We love to see this offensive pressure coming from Bad Seeds right off the rip. Pound Town trying to do everything they can to send this onto the offensive end. We've mainly seen Bad Seeds with the offensive pressure here, but still seeing great showing as that one's going to be dangerous right in front of the net. But it doesn't quite go in. And that one, on the other hand, does go in. A great pass mid. Aquamaniac is there for the shot, and he puts it perfectly bottom left off of a bump from Grant to get the last man in net out of the way, and Aquamaniac can just slam it in the bottom left. As we go, they have a 1-goal lead, but it is only a minute down on the clock. There's still plenty of time for Pound Town to tie this game up. Grant trying to get something going. Marty tries to get a little bit of a challenge there, a little bit of shot on net, can't quite get it. Shavin going to take this up himself. Aqua there yet again to shut down the counter push as Remzik trying to push out himself, can't get it either. Leffy trying to push it out. Aqua with another shot, and he scores with a 2-goal lead for Bad Seeds. Aqua doing an amazing job proving why he deserves to be in Div A, why he was not a pick down from Div B. He deserves to be in Div A. He is popping off on offense, and we love to see it. Shavin this time getting the good kickoff for Pound Town, trying to get the offensive pressure right away. Can't quite get it. Leffy sends it long way. Shot on target. It's just a little wide. It's floating. It can't quite get in. They need to push this out. Nobody punishes that. How does that stay in? I thought it was in off the first rip, but then Leffy couldn't quite get the follow-up. That hit the crossbar, I'm pretty sure, like 4 times right there. That is insane that that didn't go in. That looked like it was just floating. It was almost in already off of Shavin's touch, but it couldn't quite bounce in. And the defense was just scrambling, trying to clear it out. And now we still have a lot of pressure from Pound Town, but they needed that goal to bring it down to a 1-goal lead, and now we're still stuck at a 2-goal lead. Leffy slams it on target, but there's still 2 defenders back for that save. Aqua gonna try to push this out, get on the offensive, but Remzik there to shut that down. He's gonna keep going for this. He pops it up. It's still dangerous. Marty gonna go to save them out. Aqua tries to get the touch off of Marty's touch. Couldn't quite get it. Shavin gonna keep it on offense. Leffy going for a crazy angle, but I think the defense thought he was getting the angle, and he couldn't quite get it, so it just floats in. Leffy had a little bit of a bump on the last man, so Marty had to try to go for a weird save. He couldn't quite get it, and it just drops in at 10 kilometers an hour. Almost got the save, but not a ton of speed behind it. Still works. Doesn't matter how it goes in, it works. Now we have a 1-goal lead with still half the game remaining. This is a high-scoring first game as he can't quite get the shot. I couldn't quite see who that was, but he couldn't quite get it. Shavin gonna send it up to Remzik, who's waiting up in the field. He can't quite pick it up. He has to leave it for Leffy, who goes in. Aqua trying to get a touch, get it off of him. Aquamaniac is there to clear it out onto the offensive end. Now they have a 3-versus-1 push, and it goes in, but the shot a little bit wide. They couldn't quite convert off that. Still at a 1-goal lead, 3 games in the series thus far, but tons of attempts. And as I'm saying that, Leffy drills one in. I didn't even completely catch what exactly happened there, as for some reason the camera's stuck down there. Leffy just gets a little double around the defensive end, and they couldn't block it out. And now we have a tied game with 1 minute and 46 seconds left on the clock. Marty trying to go up for this. He gets a little bit of a touch. Remzik gonna shut down the counterattack. Aqua can't get the touch. Leffy's gonna have a free ball, but Aqua manages to catch up and get a good 50. Grant with a touch, gets sent up high a little bit. Marty gets a touch over to the side. Aqua gonna try to keep pushing this up himself. Remzik with the carry. He's got time, he's got boost, but he couldn't quite get it around Aquamaniac. Aquamaniac being a lethal force on this squad. It makes you wonder why he was put down on the draft in the certain placement he was when he's doing so amazing right now. He is honestly being more of a first round pick for the Bad Seeds, when in reality he was the third pick and no one really expected him to be in Div A. He is doing an amazing job of proving exactly why he deserves to be in Div A here. Aqua with another shot on target, and it goes in. Defense was caught out a little bit, and Aqua there to put his third on in the game this far. Grant was there for the shot as well, but Aqua was the one who slammed it bottom right, just out of reach out of the defense from Pound Town. And we have a 1-goal lead with just under a minute. Does Pound Town have the push to tie this up and send it to OT? Do we see 2 goals scored, and do we just see them take it? Who knows? We've got 40 seconds to find out what happens here in Game 1. A very eventful Game 1 right off the rip. Bad Seeds having the 1-goal lead with just 30 seconds left on the clock. Aqua passing it down to Grant. Grant on the carry, gets the reset. Maybe he didn't quite get it, but regardless, Leffy was there to shut it down. Marty gonna push this out. Remzik there to get another slam to the other end of things. Can't quite get it. Grant's gonna shut it down, send it all the way to the corner where no one's really there to collect, so Aquamania can collect it himself. Leffy can't find the touch. Shavin booms it upfield. Marty with a missed touch, and Remzik almost had the dunk on net, and that is it for Game 1 of this best of 5. We see Bad Seeds take it in Game 1. Looking at the stats a little bit, Aquamaniac kind of leading the Bad Seeds for this game, whereas the other side of things, it was moreover even for the entire teams. Each player getting a sort of equal opportunity on the ball. Touches look pretty similar. Remzik with a little more touches than the other 2 players, but overall pretty even throughout the scoreboard, whereas Aqua was kind of, same amount of touches, but he was making those touches count. He was scoring every single shot he taken. 3 shots taken, 3 goals scored for Aquamaniac. And if you look at the shots, it's not a huge offensive pressure from Bad Seeds. You had in total 5 shots compared to the 9 shots from Pound Town. Definitely a more offensive heavy from Pound Town, but still Bad Seeds lock it out. They're making every one of their pushes count and getting every single one. As we jump into Game 2, do we see Pound Town take one back? Do we see maybe the 4-game prediction, and maybe the Bad Seeds just got theirs right off the bat? Need to update the score real quick. There we go. And right off the rip, before I even can talk, Pound Town doing an amazing job of just instantly capitalizing off of a little bit of a misclear from Grant. Remzik is just there for the shot and just slams it top shelf. We've got still nearly all 5 minutes on the clock, so it was more of a kickoff goal right off the rip, but a 1-goal lead is huge for Pound Town as they need to get that offense started. They have the points leading now, but can they hold this lead and get Game 2? Grant with a clear over to the side. Shavin going to pick it up himself. Grant shutting down Shavin's push. Shavin's going to have to go back as Remzik going to try to buy time. He can't quite, but Leffy is there to save the Pound Town from being scored on, bringing a neutral score. Marty trying to send this mid. It's floating. Leffy with a touch. Maybe if Marty turned a little bit earlier, then maybe potentially gets a goal there, but he couldn't quite find it. And now we're on the other end of things, trying to get a second goal here. Leffy, little bit wide on the shot, has the follow-up. It's floating again. We see it just barely, but this time Remzik is there to capitalize on the floater right in front of net. and he can get that second goal of the game, and we still have 4 minutes on the clock, but now we have a 2-goal lead right off the rip. Potentially having someone join us, maybe.
I'm here.
We have Whirl joining us, being a legend, because my voice is starting to get there a little bit.
Get me in the party, bro. Get me in the party.
Gotcha. Oh my God, you're a savior.
I was a little bit busy before this, but I'm here. I'll save your life a little bit here. Never too fun casting all by yourself, so had to come help out.
I appreciate it so much. It is awesome having you here. We now have Whirl. For those who can't tell by the voice, we have Whirl joining us for a co-casting. So now I don't have to be sweating, calming for every single thing, and luckily come here and saving my life. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, we'll just get straight into it. I mean, I didn't get to watch the game number 1. I'm not really sure what happened, but I mean, I'm looking at the stream and I'm seeing, you know, Bad Seeds actually taking game number 1, which is absolutely fantastic to see. But honestly, crazy stuff coming from Bad Seeds, but we're already 2 minutes in, and Pound Town looking a little bit better here, maybe, potentially, in game number 2. So they get a nice clear. This one might just roll its way in, and it does. And Remzik just pounded it in, and I don't know how many goals he's had so far, but Pound Town go up 3-0 just 2 minutes in.
I think the person you really miss, I mean, this is his, I think, second goal thus far in this series, this game. But the person you really miss is game 1. Aquamaniac put up all three of the goals with only 3 shots in game 1. 100% shooting. Really coming alive for Bad Seeds, as a shot comes from Grant wanting to come alive on the scoreboard. But Marty says, I've got the follow-up, and he converts there, giving Bad Seeds their first.
I mean, if you said there was only 3 goals for Bad Seeds in the last game, right? And they were all from Aquamaniac?
Yep.
You said?
3 goals and 3 shots from Aquamaniac.
The legend, putting the team on his back. I mean, we've talked about it a lot, right? It's a lot of the you know, if he deserves to be in Div A or not. And both times I've seen him on stream so far, seems to be proving it well here. Marty with a shot of his own, but denied by Remzik. Aquamaniac has a nice follow-up, but not able to capitalize. This one's floating a little bit awkwardly as Remzik gets a huge bang over Aquamaniac, but Marty with a nice touch off the back wall gets a 50 on Remzik. Grant's gonna have some boost here, gonna be able to go up off the wall, but gets instant challenged by Leffy. But Aquamaniac is there, but Leffy with a great challenge as he was falling down on the ball there.
Yep, and Remzik is going to try to clear this out himself, but Marty being an offensive beast and sending it back into danger. Remzik clears it out to Shavin, who can't quite find the touch, but Remzik there again for a follow-up. Remzik with a shot, and it goes bottom right corner, getting the 4th for Pound Town. Pound Town really coming alive this game, trying to respond really quickly to Bad Seeds' win.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, sorry, I was just looking at a DM. But Remzik, I mean, I don't know what the exact scoreline from game number 1 is, but this is a little bit more what I think people expected. I mean, right, Pound Town, they're the crazy team. They got Remzik and stuff, so he gets his Hattie, it looks like, gets his 4th, but there is still a minute 51 to go. It's not completely over here for this Bad Seeds team. Shavin gonna try and rip a shot on net, but gets bat away by Marty. Leffy now off the sidewall, gets a nice shot, but Grant bats that one away. This Bad Seeds defense holding strong so far. Remzik goes up for it, but Marty gets a hit around him, but Shavin's gonna have a free touch, maybe up to Remzik, who gets it mid. Leffy does go up, and Grant just gave him the shot, but Leffy doesn't find the contact.
Yeah, I would normally say that was a needed one, but there's still a 4-1. It would have been useful to have that goal, but they still have a 3-goal lead with just a little over a minute left on the clock. They could just simply hold it, and they would be fine. They have just a little bit of time they need to burn off the clock.
Yeah, a minute left to go. Aquamaniac getting a huge clear. This could be the start of something. Grant gets a pop up, but I don't think anybody commit. But finally, Pound Town actually double commits. Remzik going for the flip reset. He gets it. Leffy maybe has a shot opportunity, but gets denied by Marty. This one a little bit dangerous. Shavin is last man back. Marty goes for the pinch. Tries to get it mid. Bad Seeds desperately needs something right here. This might be it as Aquamaniac tries to pound it in. But Pound Town holds strong on the defense.
Yep, Leffy with a pop. Doesn't quite get it. Pound Town doing amazing both on offense and defense is the reason you see this 3-goal deficit for Bad Seeds, as Leffy's going to control this midfield and just keep it in here, burning time, as there's barely any left on the clock. He just needs to burn a little bit, and then they can tie up the series Remzik there for a shot, but Marty gets a great clear out to the side. Leffy gonna pop this a little high, maybe for someone to follow up. Yep, Shavin's there for the follow-up. Remzik there to follow up him. And then Grant's gonna keep it on offense. They need to get something right now, but I don't think we see anything. And suddenly, as time clicks down, that will be it for game 2.
Yeah, that's a little bit more reminiscent of what we'd expect from Pound Town. I mean, Remzik obviously getting a lot of points here, dropping 789 on the domes of Bad Seeds, dropping the Hattie, all that type of stuff. But yeah, a little bit more reminiscent of what is expected from Pound Town. And I'm not exactly too sure what happened in game number 1, but Pound Town looks like they might have been able to already find a counter, or maybe just kind of cleaned up their play a little bit here to take game number 2.
Yep, Remzik definitely coming alive in that next game with 700 points on the board. Actually, that is nearly more. Is that more? Yeah, that is more than the entire Bad Seeds team combined. Aquamaniac not doing as much on the field this game, but still a solid showing from Bad Seeds. I'm curious, because now you have a best of 3 to predict. What would you predict for these next 3 games? I'm just curious.
I think Pound Town, they found their groove, that game number 1. Whether or not, how much, Aquamaniac was popping off or not, I think Pound Town starting to get into their groove a little bit. It's so hard to shut down Remzik. So I will predict right here and now that Pound Town might just take the rest of these. I would love to see Bad Seeds make it a little bit tough on them, maybe take a couple games or maybe even walk away with this one. But I do think Pound Town will be the ones to just walk away with this one here.
That is a fair prediction because that last game was definitely so dominant coming out from Pound Town. Let's see if Bad Seeds can respond here with something. Right off the rip, it looks like they have a little bit more offensive pressure than they did last, but right as I'm saying that, Remzik gonna carry it out with Shavin having an amazing shot, but it was blocked away, and we're going back the other way, but Leffy there to collect it. Aqua is sending it back, saying, no, we're gonna be on offense now, and now Remzik trying to clear it out. Aqua with a pre-jump, can't quite connect. Shavin with the shot, couldn't quite get his car around that one. Shavin with a pass mid, Marty there to shut it down.
Yeah, Aquamaniac gets a nice clear with 0 boost, but Remzik makes a much needed touch there. Out of harm's way there. This one's finding its way into the orange end. Remzik maybe has some boost to work with here. Gonna go up off the wall. He does get a 50 with Grant. This one's sitting in the midfield. Nobody goes from Pound Town. Shavin just waits out that touch and is able to play a little bit more passive and get a touch into the corner here. Aquamaniac gets a nice pop up, and Leffy in this dominance might be able to make something happen, but Marty, the captain of this Bad Seeds team, makes a great defensive touch.
Yep, and this game definitely being a lot lower scoring than both previous games. This is the longest we've seen without scoring from both teams, because the first game we had a goal within the first 15 seconds, and the second game we had a goal within the first 5 seconds. So this is definitely the longest off the rip we've had without a goal from either of these teams. Both teams trying to lock it down on defense.
And here we see a shot come from Leffy, goes wide. Shavin is there for the recollect on the rebound off the back wall there, and they will slot that one. Find their first here. I don't know where the defense went there for Bad Seeds. Maybe a bump or something, but there was just nobody back for Bad Seeds for too long, because the ball ends up in the back of their net. Pound Town get there first, just a minute and a half into game number 3.
Yep, and you can't discredit the passing play. That was an amazing passing play. Finding Aquamaniac, he looked like he was the last man back on that defensive line, and he couldn't quite shut down that passing play as Remzik going to put the second on the board, but Marty denies the double tap. Leffy going to collect it in the corner. Shavin trying to get it up the field. Marty's got to go and catch it and try to send it back the other way, but Remzik there trying to shut it down. Marty goes back the other way, beats out Leffy. Aqua with the carry. It's a 3v1 opportunity, maybe 2v1 now. Can't quite get it as we're going back the other way for Pound Town.
Yeah, a little bit awkward there for Pound Town on the defensive line. Aquamaniac does get a bump on Remzik, but Marty took a little bit too much time. Remzik's probably going to be able to be back here. Does go up here, gets a beat around Grant. This one's going to find its way into the orange half. Aquamaniac with a touch off the wall, and Remzik does get a nice 50. Leffy going to try and hit this out of the way of Marty, and he does. But Grant gets a huge clear here. Shavin shuts that one down early, gets a nice early jump there to shut that one down. Grant gets a nice pop, sends this one into the blue half. But Leffy again just banging this one away, but it is going to go straight to Aquamaniac, who gets another pop up, maybe a pass for Marty, but shut down by Remzik right on the goal line.
Yep, and did just notice a raid coming out from Makate Hardcore. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I appreciate it anyways. As I'm talking, we're going back the other way. Remzik gonna collect in the corner. Marty trying to get something going. Grant with a beautiful dunk over Leffy. I believe that was Leffy.
Yeah, no, beautiful touch. I mean, Marty gets the nice center, and it looks like Aquamaniac was playing a little bit of the disruption there. Disrupts the goalie in net, and Grant's able to slot this one, and they tied up with 1:58 to go. Bad Seeds finally showing a little bit of offensive aggression here in game number 3.
Yep, and we have a tied game. It really seems like Leffy is struggling in this game 3 a little bit. I mean, he isn't quite finding the touches he wants, and if we see him coming alive, I think we see a much more definitive scoreline here. But right now, Shavin trying to get it sent middle. Remzik trying to go challenge it. He goes up the wall, doesn't have much boost to work with, so he's just going to go back, let Leffy get it. He has a great 50 on the ball. Shavin trying to play it low. Remzik now has a free ball for a second. Marty goes for the bump, but Remzik still carrying it above them. Leffy with the shot, and as I was talking about Leffy earlier, he has come alive, and now we have a 2-1 game.
Yeah, 1:19 to go. It looks like I thought maybe Leffy hit this straight at Aquamaniac. But I mean, he can't get back to that one. And Pound Town go up 1 goal, 1:19 to go. They're going to continue to try and make this one work. They just got to hang on for another minute. That's all it takes. And I'm looking for Remzik to just step up a little bit here. I mean, I don't think he's really quite had a goal yet, unless he just scored, and I'm dumb, but he hasn't. He's actually on the bottom of the leaderboard right now. Remzik slowing down a little bit here in game number 3. Marty, though, gets a nice touch around 1. Gonna have to flick around another, but Remzik times that jump perfectly, gets a nice pop-up, though. Aquamaniac with a touch into the midfield here. Remzik a little bit slow to the ball, but still gets a beat on Grant. Has some boost to work with. Can he get the clip? And he does! A beautiful flip reset from Remzik out of the midfield. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why he is the best in the league.
Indeed, getting around all the defenders and putting them up 2-goal lead with just 50 seconds left on the clock in game number 3 to go on match point here. Basically became a best of 3 after those first 2 games, and Remzik gonna try to go for another clip. He can't quite get it, and Marty is gonna clear it away with Grant. Touch the middle. Shavin sends it a little bit long. Grant gonna send it back the other way, playing a little bit of ping pong for a moment. Although that is good on the end of Pound Town. If they can just burn time here, they win a second game. They don't need to score, but Marty needs to score, and he goes for it, but he can't quite connect.
That was very close there for Bad Seeds. That would have been huge for any hopes that they do have, but 14 seconds in 2 goals in 14 seconds is looking a little bit bleak here as Marty goes up. A couple demos do come out on the goal line. Marty going to try and get this one center. Not able to do so. Shavin gets a nice clear out, and as the clock does roll down to 1 second, Aquamaniac almost gets one for the road and can't find it, but Pound Town go up on the series here 2-1, and thank you. I mean, thanks to that Remzik goal especially really was the icing on the cake, or that dagger, if I do say so myself. And looking pretty good for Pound Town. I mean, they're on match point now as they look to try and just wipe this one out in 4.
Yep, and I would have been pretty confident that if that timer wasn't 0 seconds, that one would have gone in. But unfortunately, we do see a 3-1 game in game number 3 as we get ready for game 4. What are you feeling that this Bad Seeds team need to change up in order to get another game off them and go to 5?
I'm not quite too sure what it is. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can obviously go about it. I'm not the most analytical player myself, but it just seems like Bad Seeds, ever since game number 1, their offense has been very one-sided. They get a couple chances here and there. And apart from that, I mean, there's just nothing. I mean, we see it in the shots. I mean, they only have a couple shots. And 1 goal from it, which was a good goal, to be fair. Good team play, disruption-esque play style going on. But like I said, I'm looking for more of Aquamaniac of that game number 1. I mean, we see him get 90 points there. I'm going to need him to go back to that game number 1. I think this Bad Seeds team really needs him to step it up again if they want any hope of taking some more games.
Yep, I 100% agree. That 90 points You know, you can't always look at points, but that is definitely a little low on the scoreboard, and you'd love to see him step up as he right off the bat is getting a good opportunity on the Pound Town's net, but he can't quite get the bump and can't quite get the pass over his teammate. As we see is going the other way, and Remzik just going to convert there. Grant was a little too close, and they just send it into their net from the midfield.
Yeah, beautifully played. I mean, Leffy with a nice pass out. Grant trying to just stay with that with Remzik as the attacker, but doesn't have the pace to do so. And Remzik with a beautiful touch into the net. And already threatening to just end the series off. I mean, it's still early, but a good start from Pound Town.
Yep, and we have a 1-goal lead. There's still plenty of game left for this round, but Bad Seeds kind of need this one if they want to send it to 5, as Marty's going to try to get something going. Gets it around 1, but Leffy's there to shut it down. Aqua there to try to get something going. He can't find it either, and Leffy going to pinch this out with Aqua back to the defensive end of things.
Yeah, 45 seconds in, Remzik gets a nice touch into the corner. This one might find itself into the front of the nether, but Grant plays near post there, gets a nice touch into his own corner. This one's a little bit awkward here. Leffy, not sure if he should go for this ball or not. Nobody from Pound Town knows if they should go. Marty gets a huge clear out. Remzik, a nice touch off the backboard. Grant goes missing though, can't find the touch, but at least for Aquamaniac, but Remzik bullies him out of the way. Doesn't let him go for any sort of funny business there as Shavin gets a nice clear out. Remzik is waiting there, but Grant with a nice read, gets a nice cut off. Remzik gonna go up for this one, tries to redirect it down, but Marty with a nice pre-jump challenges that one early, and that is what you need to do for a player like Remzik, or a player of his caliber. You need to not give him the space that he's trying to take. And so far here, game number 1, looks like Bad Seeds have been doing a good job of doing that.
Yep, and we have just under 3:30 on the clock. There's still plenty of game left to play. Marty has a great opportunity here. Can't quite find it. Grant can't find the touch. Aqua trying to just play third man, playing a little cautious. Remzik behind the ball, gets the pogo. Almost got that. Well, that would have been a first for DCRL, at least to my knowledge. I don't think we've seen a pogo shot here in a while.
Would have been crazy, but Leffy gets a nice slot there to progress to 2-0. Aquamaniac not able to get the 50, and it looks like both Marty and Grant get a little bit caught up there. I think if you're Aquamaniac there, definitely expecting at least a third man back, but that one just finds its way in. A little bit unfortunate for Bad Seeds, but maybe a good opportunity here for Grant, and he cannot find the redirect or the double tap off the backboard. That would have been great for the momentum of this team, but again, they're just falling a little bit short right where it matters most, right at the end. Shavin gets a nice skim shot there, puts this one into the corner. Marty looking a little bit awkward, gets bumped out by Remzik. Grant, though, does come in nicely. A nice challenge. Shavin, it's a little bit of boost to work with. Looks like Aqua does go missing on the challenge. This one's dangerous, but Aqua does come racing back on the goal line to make this one happen. Remzik, though, gonna go for a clip, gets off the ceiling, gonna maybe use his flip, but Grant again challenging just in time to get a touch on that one. Leffy looking a little bit awkward here. Shavin forced to go up. A little bit of an awkward touch here. Leffy, though, maybe going to get a touch down to Remzik. This one might be there. Remzik does get a touch on it, but Grant gets a beautiful 50, and 2 minutes left to go. Bad Seeds need to get something going ASAP. A little bit of 50 in the midfield here. Marty trying to get another touch, but Remzik ultimately able to beat out that 50 and gets his second here in game number 4. Beautiful stuff coming out from him as the captain here. Regarded as one of the best players in DCRL, if not the best. I'm going to bring out the Remzik Glaze. I'm not afraid to. I mean, I was on his team and I won it all, and there's a reason why he's a two-time champ, ladies and gentlemen. But 2 minutes left to go here. Shavin out of his own corner, trying to just get something going here, but Marty with a beautiful challenge, showing some good speed here. Aquamaniac tries to take a slow touch, but Shavin comes from behind, gets a nice touch. Marty has an angle, but almost just barely misses that one, brings it off the crossbar. Remzik gonna go for a little bit of a bounce play here, does get a touch on it, but nothing does come from it. Leffy gonna pop this one in the midfield for Shavin, who rips a shot. Beautiful power from Shavin, and they get 4 here in game number 4.
Yep, and we've got a 4-goal lead, which is definitely insanely intimidating. And yet again, Pound Town are in a spot where they only need to burn the clock, and with only 1:40, that's not hard to do. Or even if you're another team, but let alone being Pound Town, which again, which I believe your team minus instead of you is Leffy, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was Remzik, Shavin, and I, and they upgrade me with Leffy, so it's like I've been saying all season long. It's just crazy to see this team and already just being so dominant here in season number 4.
Yep, and I think the only other team that's really put up a fight against Pound Town was
Rob's
Stewie and
Crocs.
Painted. Yeah, Rob's Crocs. Otherwise, they'd have 100% and win. Luckily, Bad Seeds do have one off, but if they want to get another off them, they're going to have to score right there. And as before I could even get to talking about it, they put one in the net. They knew what I was going to say, and they just put one in for me.
Yeah, 3 goals is definitely a lot more manageable. I mean, there's still a minute, a minute left to go. About a fifth of the game left. It's definitely not impossible. They're going to have to try and keep this offensive aggression coming up. They're going to have to send the house as Aquamaniac has them boost off the wall. Remzik fake jumps potentially. I don't know if he had the boost to go for that one, but nonetheless, Grant maybe has a good opportunity here, but a good save coming out from Leffy though. Marty in a good spot here, but Remzik shuts that one down. Wall dashes, gets a nice touch into the midfield, maybe for Shavin, who gets a great first touch. Does he have another? And he does! A beautiful shot coming out from Shavin. Beautiful pass from Remzik. Great first touch from Shavin, and Grant had no shot of saving that one.
That was a beautiful goal. Honestly, that one could definitely be clipped and sent in for clip submission because that one was beautiful to watch.
You see Shavin in the chat. Of course it bounces. Hey, I think that's still clip worthy, my guy. It doesn't happen too much.
Nope, no more clip. If it bounces, it doesn't count. Pull one off the scoreboard. Pound Town didn't score. I'm just messing, but we have a 5-1 lead, and we're back to that 4-goal lead with just 30 seconds left on the clock, and they almost get one there. But do we see Pound Town try to get 2 more on the board and get the Brazil? I don't think they have it. There's just too little time, 20 seconds left on the clock to get either 2 more for Pound Town or 4 more for Bad Seeds, which they get 1 of the 4.
They are going to need an absolute miracle to walk away with this one. 17 seconds. They're gonna need at least like 2 kickoff goals here.
Do we
like
see
if it doesn't happen on this kickoff right here, I'm gonna pretty much write this one off. Does go into the midfield. Shavin with a hard sheet. Does get 50 by Grant though. Maybe an opportunity. I don't think he has the boost though. This might find its way in. Almost does. And maybe if they get that goal right there, I would have maybe counted this one in. But 5 seconds to go. 3 goals. Looking pretty much impossible. And ladies and gentlemen, looks like Pound Town will walk away here as your series winner. Walk away in 4, and you predict it, right? 4,
yep.
Was it 4 games?
It
Pound Town?
It was 4-game Pound Towns. I just thought it was going to be like the second or third game. Bad Seeds got it right off the rip, off of Pound Town's little bit of bad start to the series, but they still got it in 4 regardless. Great job to Pound Town. Great job to Bad Seeds. I mean, look at the scoreline. They also did phenomenal in this game. There's nothing to laugh about. 470, 232, and 248, all of them coming alive in this game 4, but unfortunately, they could not lock it out, and they couldn't send it to 5. But I'll take a 4 game. I'll take a correct prediction.
Yeah, I mean, especially in game number 1, Bad Seeds were looking fantastic, especially Aquamaniac, but Pound Town able to, make that comeback, bring these guys to Pound Town, and, get 3 in a row to shut down this series. I mean, Bad Seeds, we've seen glimpses of awesome gameplay coming from them. But I think they need, if they want to be a top caliber team, and especially if they want to make LAN, they need to make that performance a little bit more consistent. They need to consistently perform like that on a regular basis rather than just, a one-off situation here or there. So whatever they got to do to try and make that happen. I mean, I hope that they can do that, because I think it would be awesome to have Aquamaniac, prove all of these doubters wrong, make it to LAN, and make a name for himself. So I'm definitely rooting for this Bad Seeds team moving forward.
Yep, and definitely Pound Town proving their name on the other end of things. Unfortunately, their name does have the downside that you can't put it in anywhere else besides the overlay, but it is a good name indeed. Let's see if we can get these guys in for a post-game interview.
Yep, I did just drag them in, so they were obedient DCRL players and joined the right VC, which I very much appreciate. And I can't help but wonder, this is the first time, Pound Town, that I'm seeing all of you guys with your. I mean, I know the stream can't see it, but with the matching Discord profiles, that looks beastly, bro. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's pretty intimidating. So huge stuff to you guys.
Exactly what we want.
Now, was the game plan yet again just go in and just prove your name, Pound Town, and just destroy? Was that the game plan, or was there something else behind a little bit in the pregame? What do you think, Remzik?
No, we wanted to pound, and let me tell you, we pounded.
You guys did have me a little bit nervous after the game one. You guys were looking a little bit caught up and stumbling a little bit. But what would you say you like? Was there anything you said to like get all of your guys like back on track and getting all the nerves shaken off?
We just wanted to speed up, not be sitting flat-footed.
Yeah.
seemed to do
Pretty sure
quite
Shavin
good.
said I'm gonna turn my brain off and speed up.
Nice. I think that's definitely something that needed to happen, you know, especially after game number 1, Aquamaniac coming out flying, getting the hat trick. And it seemed to just be him capitalizing on, you know, like you said, the passiveness, just getting, like Remzik said, you know, getting caught flat-footed a little bit. So it was awesome to see you guys be able to turn that one around and, you know, honestly, to be able to find that counter and find that fix, you know, so quickly. I mean, Shavin, you're the analytical guy. Is that something that you guys kind of had called out and had figured out by game number 2, or was it just kind of like naturally occurring thing that happened, you know, going from game 1 to 2?
I don't know.
He just said,
Okay,
"Let's
man.
cook," and you just started cooking.
This one was my idea.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you're normally like a let it flow type of guy.
Dude,
That's huge.
I know.
That's how bad the first game was.
I step up when I need to.
That is
Yeah.
very true. That is very true. Let's see, Leffy. I appreciate that you were able to get some light, because before it looks like everybody was living in a dungeon. That seemed to. I mean, I appreciate Remzik also turning the lamp on for us so that we can see his beautiful mustache. We did have one chat, Remzik. I'll toss it over to you. What would it take for you to shave off your mustache for the DCRL community?
I'd do it for free.
What?
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
They were saying, like, I don't know if there's any like Naruto fans out there, but they were saying like it'd be like, you know, if when Rock Lee takes his like ankle weights off, it's like you're gonna shave off the mustache and you're gonna be like pro level, bro. But
Yeah, they don't want that. We'll keep that hidden.
I think the condition is for Remzik is it being for DCRL specifically. I don't think he cares much beyond that.
But
I guess.
all right, I don't have any other questions, V-Storm. So whenever
I
you're
do
good.
not either. Thank you guys for joining us for this interview, and awesome series. Congrats on your win today, locking out in 4. Good job. Thanks for a great series.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, and that is it for our first matchup. We still have a second matchup for today. I believe it's misdemeanors versus telecommuters, if my memory serves me right. So stay tuned for that. We're going to go over to a short intermission. I appreciate World so much for joining in mid-match. Struggle bus for a little bit. I mean, luckily, everything went smooth besides the perk of having a co-caster. Everything else went smooth, and then you joined and made it that much better. So I appreciate having you on here. Anything else to say before we send it to an intermission?
The only thing I have to say is, if you're a caster and you're in this stream right now, I need your help, bro. We need your help. That's all I gotta say. But I'm glad I could come in at the last second, and give you a helping hand. I was a little bit busy before, but I came into the stream and saw my boy was all by himself, so felt a little bit obligated. Instead of just guiltily watching by myself, I figured I'd help you out. So glad I could help you out.
I appreciate it. We're going to go to a short intermission, and then stay tuned for a awesome series coming up next with one of the DSU boys. All right.
Oh, the DSU glaze begins again.
Yep,
Okay.
every day. Good luck to everyone else with their matches, and see you in a few.